What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. I got another video for you guys tonight. This one, James Toney versus Randy Couture. This, by no means, is a prediction video, but more of a commentary video, more so than anything else. The boxing versus MMA debate is still continuing, and it's going to continue for a long time. Maybe until the end of time, we're going to hear this boxing versus MMA debate. Which is better, boxing or UFC? Um, and everybody really likes to argue about and debate this topic between boxing and UFC. And honestly, I'm to be quite honest, I'm actually tired of the damn debate because it's like when you hear a boxing fan and a UFC MMA fan going at it, they sound like two 5-year-olds going at it about this sport. My sport's better than yours. This, that, and the other, and more so, it's all on the promoters. Um, and one promoter that shouldn't have any say in any of this, Gary Shaw. Gary Shaw had his own company, had his own mixed martial arts company, tried to capitalize on the success of it. Didn't go over so well. But now what we have is we have a future Hall of Fame boxer versus a future I think he's a Hall of Fame UFC fighter. I'm not even sure. But you have two men who are going to be Hall of Famers in their sport, James Toney and Randy Couture. Does this make way for an interesting matchup? Not really. I'll tell you why it does not make way for an interesting matchup and why it will not end this stupid debate. One reason it will not end this debate is because this is in one sports rules. James Toney is fighting in a totally different sport. He's fighting in a cage, which is different from his normal element of fighting in a boxing ring. So this matchup, to be quite honest, is going to be everything that Couture is used to. In a cage, this is Couture's environment. This is what Couture is used to and has been fighting in for numerous years. So Randy Couture is used to this element and environment. And James Toney is stepping into a place where he's never been before. Despite, all the training that he's done, despite him looking good sparring other mixed martial art fighters, this still doesn't do anything for James Toney if he wins this matchup. Maybe he'll give him a matchup with whoever the UFC champion is, that WWE guy. Maybe he'll give him a shot against that guy, which is least likely. He could get his championship shot in boxing. More so, he probably wouldn't in the UFC as well. Who knows? Anything can happen in UFC. Same thing. Anything can happen in boxing. But James Toney is crossing over. It's like it's like you have a popular television show. You have two popular television shows, and sometimes you see it in sitcoms. You see major stars step into another lane, step in and cross over into that other television series. But sometimes you don't see the other stars stepping into the other series. And this is what we're gonna get in this UFC matchup. We're gonna get a crossover basically, but it's only gonna be one crossover. More so than UFC fighters coming into boxing. And I did read about some MMA fighter. I don't remember the guy's name. Who was talking about boxing at the end of the year. Who knows if there's any clarity to what he said within that article? But it's like this. You don't hear things about. Sometimes you do hear about some NFL players going to baseball. It works out at times. Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson. Sometimes it works out in that case. But you don't hear much about football players crossing over to basketball, or basketball players crossing over to hockey, so forth and so on. This is another, and even though they both are combat sports, they both get put into the same spotlight. Everything is just put together, I guess, because both sports deal with fighting, but they're different types of fighting. Boxing been around for years. Mixed martial arts been around for a while, but they're totally different sports. If James Toney wins this matchup against Randy Couture, it does nothing for boxing. and at the same time it does nothing for mixed martial arts. But there's intrigue due to the fact that you have a future Hall of Fame boxer stepping in against a future or excuse me, Hall of Fame UFC fighter. So that builds up intrigue into the matchup. And another thing to look at is the ages of both of them. Both of them are over the age of 40. So with both of them over the age of 40, sorry, I'm looking at a text message. But with both of them over the age of 40, it's nothing like both of them are in their prime fighting each other. If you get a UFC fighter and a boxer in the prime of their careers, taking on each other, it's a whole lot different. More so than a boxer and a mixed martial arts fighter who are at the end of their careers. James Toney, pretty much I think will be gone in the next 2-3 years. Randy Couture, I don't keep up with him, but I think he'll be gone soon as well, since he's making movies and stuff, making movies and whatever. I think he'll be gone in the next while. But like I said, it does nothing for this boxing versus MMA debate. It's just pretty much, to me, I think it's just a money fight for the UFC for Dana White, and I'll openly admit he promotes the hell out of his organization. I think he does a very good job promoting the hell out of it, and I think it's fights such as these that bring fans of all sorts, boxing fans and mixed martial arts fans, together. And I think this UFC event, I think it's going to be, I think it might be quite huge, possibly. Who knows? But at the same time, be and everybody who makes prediction videos for mixed martial arts and people who make prediction videos for boxing, be prepared for possibly mixed martial arts fans coming onto the pages talking about which sport's better and talking about the fight. I'm not making a prediction for this fight. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Don't know what's going to go on. Not going to watch the fight unless something interesting happens. But that's that. Don't hate mixed martial arts. I just don't watch it. And other than that, don't have anything against the sport. It's just not my cup of tea, to be quite honest. And on top of that, this is kind of a fight that's a bit of a circus show, or a circus act out of everything that you could possibly have on a UFC card. I think it's just a dumb fight. Put two old guys against each other in a cage and have them battle it out. It is what it is. I could be wrong, but whatever. Anyway, guys, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.